Hello everyone, this is Shocking Jay with a anime discussion of My Hero Academia episode 48? 48, season 3, episode 11. And with this, or during this, we will discuss the episode and then kind of recapping season 3, which is up to date.
This is our episode discussion and the first one for the season, so
yeah,
we're just gonna talk about all the other ones too.
Kind of a random place to start, but this is where we're starting. You know,
You started the best episode, right?
Yeah, basically. So when things are actually getting really interesting with the fighting and all of that good stuff. So yeah, this one I wasn't unhappy with the pacing of like how there was a lot of action in this.
Yeah, you know? All Might and the Deku and his little group.
Yeah,
and all the villains. Yeah, it all. I don't think. Do you think it's over? I was just thinking about that. All the villains like warped away at the end.
Right.
I guess it's. Is it over?
The fight, or
yeah? Do you think like next episode? I saw a bit of the preview. Is next episode gonna be like more fighting?
I don't think I watched the preview.
No, you were out of the room.
Oh, I was out of the room. The only way I see it continuing is if, what's his name? Hand over the face, dude. Shigaraki. Yes, if he somehow like
we're gonna mess up a lot. We're gonna forget a lot of names. There's a lot of names in this show.
They're tough. If he wakes up the portal guy and it's like, "Hey, portal me back." That's the only way I see that happening.
Oh, okay.
But I think what they're gonna really focus on next episode is the dynamic between All Might and All for One.
Get a little backstory. That's the part of the preview I saw.
Okay,
they talked about like.
Because that's what they
All Might's predecessor.
Ooh, I'm actually really excited.
They show her in the opening every time.
Yeah, it's a her? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm totally in for that. That's some backstory I'm really excited to hear just because I feel like All Might, we just know him as the...
We got a little bit of backstory. There's one episode like last season, I think, where they're like... I don't know. I think they talked about All for One. There's an episode where they mentioned like him and like what his power was. They like described that backstory. Do you remember that? They're like, oh, All for One, and he had a brother, and he didn't know he had powers, and that's how All for One happened, or One for All happened. That his brother like had the ability to like absorb people's quirks or pass quirks on, but that was his only quirk. And then once his brother, who is One for All, gave him a quirk. It was like strength or I don't know, something like that, and they passed that on.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So that's how All for One, One for All for One for All. That's the good one.
Yeah.
That's how his like the original One for All was like this guy's brother, and this guy's I think he's like 200 years old or something, and he's just alive because he has like all the quirks in the world.
All for One.
Yeah, All for One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's like the 8th One for All. Or something like that. Like All Might is like the 8th.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Or something like that.
Yeah, because there was how many eyes in like Midoriya's.
I know. I think of like
whatever.
when he does the epic punch at the end of season 1. It does that little with like the star or whatever. Like it goes all the circles and like makes like I don't know like a symbol or whatever.
Yeah.
And it goes between all the dots and there's like 8 of them. And in the tournament.
Yeah.
The eyes. Yeah.
That's what I remember. So let's
sorry guys, that's next episode.
Preface
maybe
this episode where the beginning of this episode starts with the flashback of the heroes busting into the League of Villains base at the bar, and then they trap them all, and all of a sudden All for One just starts teleporting people, and Nomu start flooding in where the heroes are, where Endeavor is.
Did we see? We didn't cut back to them ever.
But no, after we left.
Yeah.
And then all the League of Villains... Okay. Yeah, they'll probably be fine. The League of Villains get transported to All for One, and he just annihilates all the heroes that are at the place with the Nomus.
Yeah.
And then that's...
They didn't... Mount Lady got up at the end. Right. But like... Yeah, everyone else was just like... Even though they showed that Genus like pulled them away, but they still never came back. Or like woke up or whatever.
No,
we never like saw
except
them
for
again either.
Gigantic Lady, yeah. Which, dude, I'm so sad. Genus was my favorite character, my favorite hero.
Yeah, is he dead?
Yeah, dude, he got a hole punch through his.
I mean, like
shot through his stomach.
Yeah, normal logic, it's like, he's dead.
He's so dead.
Anime logic, it's like, well...
That's true.
He'll like sew himself back up or something.
Yeah, but like his eye, like his pupils literally disappeared from his eyes.
I know, that's a little... I feel like a little key to be... But... Anime logic, man. You can't beat anime logic.
I know, especially in this world. I don't know.
No one's dead until... I don't know. Until they just stop showing it.
Yeah, I guess so. But I'm really sad about that. He was my favorite hero.
Those are the ones. If it's a favorite, they're normally dead for good. Yeah, that was definitely surprising. He was just like, I mean, not surprising that I'm like, yeah, totally. He could just kill someone.
Dude, but
instantly. I could have seen that.
Yeah,
but.
It just adds to All for One. You go, this dude is like serious, means business, and he's going to like wreak havoc. So I really like how it. As sad as I am, I really like how it showed the villain-esque vibe from All for One.
I get this sometimes, though. I thought about this a little. All for One, it worries me of just like what... I mean, he's obviously not defeated. It's not like, oh, okay, this is All for One. He like, oh, might just beat him. That's it. That's the last we're going to see of him. I mean, it might be. But like, it worries me. It reminds me of the Flash this season with the Thinker, who just has like... Well, spoilers for the Flash season 4. Whatever. He like gets everyone's powers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I worry with stuff like that. I'm just like, how do you know how much how much control, how much power do you give someone with that much power? Like, how does he remember to use all of the abilities that he has? It's like with All for One, it's like, how many powers should he have? Does he know how to use all of them? But like, how do you beat someone like that?
Because we find out in the episode that with new powers he acquires, he doesn't know how to use them. He needs practice with these powers, obviously. He doesn't just come with the... When he takes powers, he doesn't get all of the mental or like the knowledge behind these powers that whoever he takes them from
Unlike
has.
the Thinker, he doesn't just like... Now you're in... your mind is in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what... we don't even know what happens to people who have their powers taken. Are they just lose their powers?
I think they're just
dead?
I feel like they mentioned this in the flashback episode or in season 2 when they explained it. I think they're just probably quirkless.
No,
he probably just kills them.
He probably takes a power and then kills them.
Well, yeah. What was the power? They do like everything they can to like explain every power. Like whenever a character shows up, even if we've seen them before. Hey, there's this power. During the commercial break, they like, oh, this person's power. But like they never explained that one. It was just like tentacles, like vine, that just shoot black.
Well, he explained. He's like this.
I know it like.
But yeah, it didn't pop up with like quirk.
It like takes control of their quirks.
Yeah.
But like. I mean, that's always bothered me on the show.
Their quirks.
It activates their quirks, but like, some quirks feel like 2 quirks in one, you know? So it's like, okay, that's a quirk that can like take control of people's quirks, but it's also just like a spear that he like threw people
around. It's like the dental dude, the guy with like the. Can he combine quirks then? But he didn't take that guy's...
He did. He talked about it. He's like, and when he punched All Might with the Wind Blast, he was like, and this is Wind Blast and also my 3 enhancing quirks.
I was like, what the heck?
And it's like, oh, okay, so this guy's OP.
Yeah,
Final boss, like that they love to say all the time.
Just ridiculous, which...
I know, that's why it's like... I mean, it seems like All Might beat him, but then he was like laughing. He keeps talking about Shigaraki. It seems like he's like, I'm gonna die anyways, Shigaraki. You're the key. You're my. But he seems. You're my Padawan.
Yeah, he's still. Seems ridiculous.
You're my Sith apprentice.
Yeah, basically.
But he's gonna like pass the. I assume at some point during the story he's gonna die, but he'll pass all of his quirks on to someone else.
That makes sense.
Because he can give and take. That's his original quirk.
Right.
I assume he's just gonna give him all the Shigaraki, and then I just imagine a super Shigaraki like punching All Might.
Yeah, just getting...
and that just seems super weird.
Really upset All Might. But interesting, the villain that All for One... I just love how they, like... He just dominated this episode, and they really just, like, showed his character.
Yeah.
And...
Very intimidating.
Yeah, big time. And he starts out strong, killing the Genist, and really just like playing with All Might's mind.
He just like threw All Might, and All Might just came right back.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny. Just like,
I know you think about like both of these heroes, like devastated, you know, or they're not devastated. They're definitely weakened from like the first time they fought, you know. So it'd be really interesting to see. What was the first fight like? You know, just
against All for One.
Yeah.
Oh, like how All Might like got the thing. That's from All for One, right? His like reason that he can only stay powered for so long because he got like stabbed.
Yeah.
They never. I don't think they've explained that fully. Is it just like he's so injured?
It might.
He's just too weak to like power up.
Yeah. Well, I think
it's not like a poison or anything. He's just like too injured. It's not like a.
It's an injury. Yeah, it's an injury that can't be like healed or something.
Yeah, I assume it's just something like.
Well, someone out there probably knows, and probably they're like, "What?"
Well, I mean, the manga's way ahead, so.
Yeah, that's true. But it's. I don't remember. It's either him. It was either All for One or like some. Weird
I think it was
hero.
All for One. Who did that to him?
Okay, that would make sense.
I think so. I think that was like it's like my last battle or something. And when they talked about All for One at some point, they like when All Might was talking about All for One, they flashed back to that scene of ha ha ha, I see, you know, of like that fire and everything. So I assume, I don't know, maybe it was that, I don't know.
Oh, and and like the one that Midoriya like idolizes,
that watches over and over again.
Yeah, but let's with the dynamic between All Might and All for One, the just like the mental warfare that All for One is totally playing with against All Might. You can totally see he says something and you know All Might just gets
more
completely
angry.
emotional about it. Yeah,
I feel like part of him he just doesn't care though. Like he's just like punching him anyway. You know, he's just like giving it his all to just beat him.
But he seems like a good villain because he knows how to get in All Might's head too. And
they clearly have a history. I mean, he talked to. He's like, oh, your predecessor, blah blah blah. So yeah, he's like. So he probably killed her, you know.
Oh.
Probably, you know. That's what I'm expecting.
That'd be good. But so you can pass on the quirk, and still have the quirk.
Yeah. Because All Might and Deku.
But I mean, like how? Remember, he only gave Deku like a percentage of it. Remember?
I don't really.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just like, here's my power.
No, it's a small percent.
Is that how it works though? I don't think that. I feel like. He ate his hair.
Right.
I know it was only a little bit. But I feel like...
Will that percent, like, keep growing? I would imagine so. Like a seed, you know what I mean? Like, it just grows.
I thought, like, Deku has all of it. He just can't use it. He can only use a little bit because his body isn't, like, there yet. Because he just got it all at once.
Right, but
he didn't, like, take years. So that's why... You know, he did the 10 million? What on muscular...
But I still think that's only a percentage of All Might's strength, like, power.
I don't think so. I mean, you could be right. I just don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. And someone will probably correct it in the comments or whatever, but I'm pretty sure. I just don't know. Maybe that 1%, like, grows over time as Deku grows?
I think just the more Deku uses the power, it gets just, like, he's able to, you know, do it better.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Slowly use more and more of the power, or just 10 million% all in one punch and just destroy or disintegrate your arm.
Yeah, I don't know how that didn't like straight up blow up his hand. You know, I like fell on my bike and like hurt my ligaments, and he just like blows up his arm, and it's like, oh yeah.
I mean, I'm glad. I was worried that like they were just gonna keep like, oh yeah, Deku's just gonna keep pushing himself, and then like it doesn't matter though. It feels like it matters. It feels like it's going to be like... It feels like we're going to get to that point where it's like, oh no, Deku actually can't use his arm anymore. Or something. It feels like we're going to hit some point like that where he's used too much. Because they talk about that when he fought Muscular. She's like, if you do this like 2 more times, you're done. Yeah. Your arm is done. And I feel like we're going to get to that point.
Well, we're either going to get to that point or Deku's going to really realize that, hey, to be the #1 hero or to be an effective hero... I can't do this.
Because, I mean, it's super dumb.
Even if I'm saving one person, okay, my one person to lose my arm's ability to move, I'm sorry, like, you can't save everybody, and with my arm's ability to use, I'm going to be able to save, like, 1 million more people. it's literally...
Well, no, yeah, that's what I think.
It's cost effectiveness of Deku has to realize...
I think in the podcast years ago, and by that I mean a year ago, when we talked about season 2 in the tournament, I was like, I think I brought this up of, should Deku even be in the tournament? Because that's when he got the scars on his hand. I'm like, why is he even in the tournament? Like, why is he pushing himself so... I'm like, this is for nothing, Deku. What are you doing? Like, you're destroying yourself.
And it's... Being an athlete and, like, being a competitive athlete, this is, like, something I can personally attest to where you're pushing your body and you're pushing your body to get it stronger and to push yourself mentally and all these things, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can do more intervals or reps right now, and I'd just be hurting my body more than I would actually be helping my body. And so you kind of have to realize, am I pushing beyond my limits to grow stronger? Or am I just hurting myself in the long run, which not only does it hurt me that day, it hurts me in days to come or weeks to come, because now my body is like too torn up, too beaten up, where I actually hurt myself.
Yeah.
And with that injury, I can't do something for like a week, and then I fall even farther behind in that week. And so, like, watching Deku is just like super frustrating for someone who doesn't realize that, hey, there is an element of like playing the long game to this.
He's like
too.
14. He's gonna die. He's not gonna become the greatest hero.
Yeah, it's like this is the last day to be a hero, and it's like, no, dude, you have plenty of more heroes, like days to be a hero.
He's gotta save Kajan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Egg in the microwave.
His whole thing, like, right now,
I don't understand.
I couldn't say this, like,
whatever.
dude, everybody else had a chance. Bakugo didn't even use his powers when he got taken.
I mean, if we can cut to that for a second of, like, just talking about the animation, like, crazy down on Bakugo just, like, getting out of there.
Oh.
Like, the craziest animation.
Yeah, he just, like, he literally just, like, All Might jumped away from everybody.
Which is amazing.
That was crazy. That. I was like... Oh.
Yeah, Deku's plan.
That was a really cool scene.
All right, Kirishima, you have to be the one, because you two are friends.
Yeah.
He respects you.
Which, it's kind of cheesy, but it's pretty realistic. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, they've shown them
I'd
together.
say so. I like that it's cheesy, but yeah, it's real.
I mean, I feel like I totally know Bakugo's character. Not to say it's like a stereotype or anything, but I feel like I totally know. Because I don't remember if I said this. I think I've said this to you. I don't think I've said it on a podcast or anything. But, like, of Bakugo, I actually said this. I didn't know that this was going to happen, but I was like, I don't know if you remember this. I was like, if Bakugo was ever to get taken by the villains, or if he was ever, like, to be taken by the villains or, like, persuaded, I'm like, he would never. Bakugo's never he doesn't strike me as the person who would ever go to villainy. He just is just, like, really mad. But he still believes in being a hero.
Yeah.
Even though he's, like, angry all the time.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing, because we see it in, like, Endeavor.
We saw it last episode. Oh, yeah, in Endeavor.
And Endeavor,
they just want to, like, be the best.
He totally strikes you as, like, this dude is just mad and is going to turn to villainy because he can't get his way. He can't be number one, But it's like, at the end of the day, he's still the number 2 hero. You know what I mean? So
they're still morally good.
It seems, yeah.
What is it? Chaotic. Good. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's been too long since
Lawful
I played
evil, whatever.
D&D.
Something like that.
Chaotic good.
Chaotic good.
Chaotic good because they're good, but they're chaotic. That's like anti-heroes.
Yeah.
They're not anti-heroes.
Anti-heroes would be...
They're like Red Hood. It's like kill people.
Right.
I'll do whatever because it's my moral code.
Yeah, that's lawful evil. Because they have their code. So they're lawful.
I don't remember.
And
whatever.
It's like what's his face? The dude from this show.
Shigaraki?
No. The sword dude. I literally...
Oh, Stain.
Yeah, okay, I was thinking Blade.
He's got a code.
Yeah, he's got a code, so...
What happened to him? He got arrested? He was just in jail. Yeah,
I think
he's
so.
just in jail.
Yeah, but, like, the rest of the League of Villains right now are, like, his idolizers. So when, like, All Might shows up, they're like, we're not worthy. Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
That Lizard Man, what is his quirk? Being a lizard?
I actually don't know. He had that weird sword that he tried to use, but, like, it
he has
work.
just like he has just like a handle with a bunch of swords, just like with a belt around it.
I know.
Like the ultimate like Stain fanboy too.
Okay. Yeah, the ultimate Stain fanboy. Yeah, I like Stain though. He's a really interesting character. I feel like he spiced things up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoy this show. It's a really entertaining show to watch week to week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do a good job. That's like probably the best thing the show does is it gives you the right cast and then the right moments to like hype you up. There's like the ultimate like hype show, you know?
Yeah.
Up to like the next episode is always like, what's gonna happen? But like, I thought back to it like this is episode 40? This is episode 48, which like most anime are like this long, if that. The plot is like not good for this show. Like I feel like I thought about it. And I'm like, here's the entire plot of My Hero Academia up to this point. Deku wants to be a hero. Villains attack. Okay, get better. Okay, they fight each other. Okay, villains attack. All right, train. All right, villains attack. The end. You're up to where we are now. Like that's the entire plot. It's just training and then villains attack. Like Shigaraki has like is no different from the beginning of the show. So I'm like, I like this show, but like I wish it did something more. At least we're at like All for One. We're like here.
Yeah.
This is like, you know, after I assume. I mean, this could be the rest of the season. Probably. It probably is like this story. But like, what's after this? Like, I need something else. I'm just like villains attack and getting stronger. You know, the plot on its own. The characters very likable.
Very good. The show is definitely very
great chemistry.
Yeah.
The plot is
leaves to be desired. Leaves something to be desired.
And this is from someone who loves Bleach, and it's like the plot in that is, it's very long. It's very stretched out, you could say.
Yeah.
But it's like, at least they kind of like did something new. Like there was always like a goal. There was always that like same goal for a long time of. There's one villain, even though I'm not going to spoil it, but there's one villain who's a majority of that show.
Right.
So that's the goal for a long time. But like we know that, and then we slowly ramp up to it.
Right.
And it's like that's kind of like what this show is.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see that end goal. You know, it's like All for One is kind of the end goal.
Yeah, he's always seemed like the villain that's like untouchable behind the scenes.
What does he want? Like I
He's
still
like Darth Sidious, you know.
It seems like their goal though is to just like be bad guys. Like they don't have some like, oh, I'm striving to be this. It's like, no, I'm just striving to be just like a villain.
That's true.
And just like cause chaos all the time. Like they don't even want money.
Well, Shigaraki just like straight up wants to kill All Might. We know that much.
Yeah, but like after that, is he just gonna like retire?
I don't know.
I feel like he's just gonna like I don't know. I need a little bit more on the plot front. Basically, it's just like we've come this far, and it's like at least we're here now. But I wish there was a little bit more. Just
I wish we knew more about.
Is at the beginning of the show when they were in the training camp? I'm like, okay. They introduced like some new characters and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is interesting where this is gonna go. Oh, villains attack.
Yeah, the new villains are cool, but
they're cool, but it's like, okay, villains attack.
Yeah.
Even they address this in the show, so it's like they're aware.
Yeah.
Or the author is aware of who writes the manga, because I'm pretty sure this is like basically a 1-for-1 adaptation of the manga. It's just like they in the Eraserhead and Vlad.
Yeah.
They did the teacher conference, which is like, we are aware. This is the third time villains have attacked these specific students. We are sorry. I'm like, so they know. It's just the same thing happening. I don't know. I wish there was something else to look forward to, you know? Other than just like, ooh, more fights, you know?
Yeah.
I need a little bit more on that side.
That's fair enough. No, I totally understand.
That's like my biggest complaint of this show.
Yeah.
Critique. It's just like I need something else, you know?
Yeah.
It's not very complex.
It's not. I wish we knew a little bit more about why Shigaraki really hates All Might. And like his backstory with like All for One, and
I feel like what does he keep saying though? If he's like mentioned something like that, just like he's a great hero, or like he's there. No, they talked about like he mentioned once like this society is built on. Stain said something like this too, but I feel like Shigaraki like just said it's because this society is built on money and heroes only save people for money or something like that. It was something like that.
Yeah, but I mean,
no, it's not very like concrete or like I don't know.
Well, I feel like that would add to the plot because if you know his motives,
his motives feel just like kind of generic, just kind of like, oh, he's a hero. Which I think I hate him because he's the hero. Yeah,
he's the best hero, so I hate him the most, and he ruins my plans.
We get a little bit of like
there's got to be a personal, like emotional, like anger, hatred towards All Might that stems from like some childhood or previous life experience.
Like they've shown a couple times of like him as like a baby. And then, like, All for One, like...
Right.
I am here. They did the evil...
Right.
I am here.
Well, it's like, like, All Might just left him, to die or something. And he hates him for that because...
Oh, like, hypothetically?
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
And with that...
Why would he do...
I don't know. Like, All Might has he's a symbol for peace, but he's still a person who, like, can't save everybody. And so...
It's like...
But people take it personally and therefore, like, carry these emotions around, and I feel like we found that out about Shigaraki would add to the motives, which would add to the plot, which would add to like why he's doing certain things, just kind of like flesh out some more stuff, which I guess we're waiting to find out, and that's okay, I guess. It just feels like it's I'm just adding on to your complaint of some things that I feel like could be done to fix it. So,
well, yeah. I want to ask you that. I mean, I can answer too. I haven't come up with something, but what, like, let's say, like, all right, the rest of season 3 is All for One, Shigaraki, whatever. At the end of season 3, Shigaraki, All for One, they're done. They're completely taken care of. But there's a season 4. What would you want to see in season 4?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because, I mean, I was going to say, like, okay, hypothetically, in the next 2 episodes, they're dealt with. But it's like, that's probably not going to happen. But, like, let's just say we move on from this. And, like, new chapter. What would you want to see for, like, Deku and his story? Or, like, what could happen? What kind of, like, arc or, like, I don't know. What would you want to see?
I would... because I know it's the story of how he became the greatest hero.
I'm racing through these halls, trying to be... You've never been to school since episode 7. What are you talking about? Just that little intro.
I know. Speaking of that, I think that's what I would like to see is... I don't know if this is like generic anime, high school
bring it back non-action
I would like
anime.
them...
Slice of life. And it's a comedy now, and it's just Deku in school.
Well... part of that. I would like to see, because I mean it's a high school where they train heroes, and he is like class 1A. Like I want to see the other grade levels and the other like not just. So you
don't want to see Deku. You want to be like, let's focus on the other kids.
No, I'm fine. Like I'm fine with Deku, but like I want to see his interaction inside the controlled environment of the school, because I feel like these villains are attacking. And it's very, like, real-life, situational, okay, this is, like, the world of the heroes. I want to see, like, the world of the heroes in training in UA. You know what I mean? You
want like, a little arc where it's like, all right, now, fast forward your, like, hypothetical, or, example, we do, like, then season 4 is, like, the rest of Deku's school career. And it's just hardcore, like... all the veteran heroes and just like we're gonna teach you to be the best hero, to be the best you can.
And I want to see that. I want to see like more. What is it like for a UA student who is like class 3A? Obviously, he's got to be some hotshot, right? Like who does really well.
Like, I'm trying to remember because they've talked during the tournament. They're like, all right, there's technical and there's support and then there's general education within the hero study or whatever.
Right.
Well, there's hero I feel like there's general education at UA.
Right.
You want to see what do they do?
Yeah, but also like he's
cool
a freshman class. I want to see like the sophomore and the junior classes. Isn't that a thing?
Are there even? I feel like they're.
I
feel like we've never seen that. If that's a thing.
Yes, that's what I want to see though.
You want to see the. Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
there are.
There has to be.
No, the one time. Is at is in like
because they were doing like the first year. The first year was the big thing.
Episode 7.
Yeah.
When they're in the cafeteria and the reporters come and they're like, "Oh, we gotta evacuate," or like evacuate, and that whole thing happens. There are like juniors there who are like, "Oh, freshmen, oh whatever, blah blah blah." I just remember that was the one scene where we saw them, never to be seen again.
Yeah, I want to see that.
They don't hold a tournament for the seniors. That's boring.
Yeah, they're about the first years.
They're at the peak of their skill. We wouldn't want to see them fight. They'll kill each other.
Yeah, right. I don't want to see like someone who's been in UA. I want to see those.
You want the
high school dynamic of like seeing how
explore the world more.
Yeah, the high school, the hero training high school world more because.
What is it like to actually be in this school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's it like?
Yeah, that'd
be cool. A senior versus a freshman, or the third year versus the first year, or, the generic and the support, and the dynamic of like what's the progression like for a character and like the growth of the character as they go through high school and stuff like that as a hero in training.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
And the different like teachers and how they teach. And because I think we got it in like the JFW or the first attack on like the training center,
the USJ
or
Universal Japan. I made a joke about that, and I remember.
Right, and
yeah, that was actually super cool. The rescue dome.
Yeah, you're learning about other so cool. Teachers who perform like really cool heroic deeds with very different quirks.
I would love a video game just set in that dome and just training to be here. That'd be such a cool just in that environment to just be in. I think about that because it's got all these different environments and to be okay, now for this scenario do that. Yeah, they give us little tidbits, and I think of Eraserhead in the beginning of being of teaching them the few couple times and throw the baseball of that first test. I want more stuff like that too. I know you make me think of this. It's go back to that. Forget the villains.
Yeah, it's very serious. I don't think it's.
Part of me. Do you think My Hero Academia would be a better show if they just never if they didn't introduce Shigaraki and all this till now?
I don't know if it would be necessarily better. My first instinct...
I think they should ramped up to this more.
I would have liked to see more development in high school and seeing the other grade levels and the other professors and have that fleshed out and developed more before we see this world of here are the villains attacking and all of a sudden Class 1A is just the center of the world.
I know. Why?
I get it. It's
I mean, I know Deku's All Might's Padawan.
Yeah, but nobody knows that.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone just wants to get Bakugan. Isn't there another kid in Class 3A that they want? I don't know.
No, it would be cool. I don't know if there's I feel this is not a trope, but there's a thing that is I don't know, vocabulary. It'd be cool if we had My Hero Academia just be a normal school show, how you've been saying of okay, they just train and you go to school every day. I've only seen a little bit of it. Little Witch Academia is just that, basically. It's just learn to become a wizard. And they get into hijinks or whatever. And that for 3 seasons or up to now. And then just out of nowhere, just out of the blue, just villain comes in and just kills just a bunch of people. And it's just this tone shift, just immediate. Mm-hmm. And then it's just okay, school's destroyed. I mean, you couldn't go apocalypse. But basically apocalypse... all the teachers are gone where now we have to survive. Yeah. And that's this new season. That'd be so cool. If we that'd be cool. Just jump straight tone shift to be oh, okay, now it's this type of show.
Right. Which I think would be cool, and I get life isn't always like that. And, if you look at an example would be Harry Potter. You know what I mean? Even as a first year, the big villain is constantly plotting against him and attacking him.
There's always an antagonist.
And Voldemort doesn't wait for him to finish a couple years at Hogwarts. He is constantly in there trying to kill him and do all that stuff. Even first, second, third, fourth, all those years. And so, we're kind of getting that more of that vibe in My Hero Academia, as opposed to the other end of the spectrum is.
Little Witch Academia.
Yeah, okay.
But it's it's very. I haven't seen or read Harry Potter, but that seems very similar to Harry Potter.
Yeah, well, Harry Potter's. I feel in the middle between My Hero Academia and Little Witch Academia. If that makes sense.
We neither of us have like seen all this stuff, so I don't know.
I mean, I've seen all the Harry Potter movies.
But I'm saying like Little Witch Academia, but yeah, whatever.
But like Little Witch Academia, like waits for all of school to be finished. Hogwarts kind of mixes both, and then I feel like My Hero Academia is just like, nah, screw school. We go for the first week, and then like heroes attack and we fight them.
Yeah.
And so there's like these, looking at it, like different pendulums, but yeah, I would feel like I would like to see a little bit more school. And, you know, I understand it may not be, like, super realistic, but I think it'd be cool just to understand that dynamic and not have, like, the fate of the world lie in a 15-year-old's hands. Like, I get, you know, okay.
It's a little...
Whatever.
The plot's been, like, a little, like, generic, basically.
Yeah.
It's, like, kind of your standard shonen
yeah.
action hero school.
Yeah, and so this...
Just a rip-off of Sky High anyway, right?
Just to rip off the Sky High. And let's be clear. We both enjoy the show, like the show.
Oh no, yeah, we've talked about
this.
This is criticism. This is discussion.
Yes. This is something we'd like to see. Something we think would be cool that would make the show better. But by no means is this like...
This isn't really...
We don't watch, you know, we stopped watching the show because of it.
No, of course. That's what I said. This is the best thing about the show is it does keep you watching. And it's not like cheap... whatever. It's like stuff happens, you know. It doesn't. The same stuff sort of happens, but there still feels like there is a progression.
Yeah, you do definitely see like characters developing.
We got the 10,000,000% Deku.
Apparently,
that's a big his Z move.
Which I want to real quick before. I don't know how long we're gonna go or when we want to stop.
However, 10 hours. Yeah, I was gonna say if. This isn't very organized, but if you wanted to stop and like talk about the earlier episodes of season 3 and go back, I don't know if that's what you were going to say.
Oh, no, I just wanted to touch base on Midoriya as a character.
Oh, sure, yeah, whatever. Let's talk about him.
The difference between like the episode where he gets attacked by the enhancer quirk guy who looks like Kachan's brother.
Yeah, that's another.
And this episode where
Muscular is superhero name. I don't think we know his real. No, they mentioned it once.
They
mentioned it once because it's like not the last name is Bakugo, but like they're still probably related somehow. I don't know. They look so similar.
Yeah.
They sound so similar.
Yeah.
We're watching the English dub. I don't think we mentioned that. It might be in the title or description. We're watching the English dub. They sound very similar. I haven't heard the Japanese.
Have the same kind of like tone to them.
I don't think I would be able to tell anyways because I don't know Japanese. But yeah, they sound. He looks the same. They wanted Bakugo.
Yeah.
The way he even said it too, of he was just like, I'm looking for this kid, Bakugo. Yeah. You've heard of him? He's my kid brother. I don't know.
But I don't know. I don't know if his. But
anyways,
with
10,000,000%.
Yeah. So and in that fight, he's just like, screw it. I'm gonna like destroy my body and just keep hitting him harder, and like I'm just gonna believe and try harder, and I'm gonna win the fight. As opposed to this episode where we get more of that Midoriya where he like thinks through stuff. And he uses his brain.
It's because Koda was in danger and he's a little defenseless boy.
Whatever.
I gotta use everything, no matter what it does to me, to save Koda.
Okay.
Deku's like the ultimate selfless, just maybe not perfect, because he does like the murmur thing. I guess that's his weakness. When he like talks a lot. I'm trying to think of like
weakness.
I'm trying to think as a character of what Deku's weaknesses are, because he is a very like. I mean, his weakness is that he is selfless.
Yeah.
But, like, he is just the ultimate self. Like, he never makes, like, any choice just, like, for himself. You know, he's always just like, I will be the hero. I will save someone.
Yeah, that's the point of, like, why he has All for One.
I know, I was just explaining, because you were talking about him doing that, and you...
Yeah, but I think
you looked unhappy. Because we talked about, he hurts himself and stuff, yeah.
Yes, and there's... That's part of it. But there's also another part where... Midoriya was in especially like season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see where he can't use the quirk, he's using his head, and his strategies that he comes up with, because he's quirkless and he's had to basically outthink other people and think differently than other people, and I thought that was really cool. Where he used his head a lot.
When I read the synopsis for this show originally is like, boy without powers wants to have powers. So I didn't think he was going to get powers at all. Before I watched the show at all, I was going to be like, oh, okay, so this is going to be about a kid who's just going to try to be a superhero even though he has no powers. And I was like, okay, that's kind of... Nope, he got powers immediately. The best powers. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So...
Which is interesting. Yeah, it's like only when he slows... Like, yeah, like in this episode, he was like, no, students are not allowed to fight.
Yeah.
And so he gave him... So, yeah, that stopped Midoriya to be like, all right, plan.
I'd be like, no, this is life or death. Like,
I know.
This is like all my...
We can't interfere. Dude, Bakugo is fighting them right now. Yes, I don't care what the penalty... Like, what?
Yeah. I thought that was kind of dumb.
What a dumb... Just rule in general for their society. I mean, it makes sense to be like, okay, if you have... Like, everyone has powers, which doesn't even make sense.
When you're fighting the League of Villains and the greatest villain... Use your stinking quirk, man.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I know. Just, who cares? Just like... Yeah, punish me for saving a student, you know? Self-defense.
You know, and I get it if it's like... why that rule is in place. But I think that was a dumb excuse. I think it would have been better if
they got creative.
I'm really injured.
I was impressed. I was impressed they got creative, you know, with the plan to save Bakugo.
And that's... I like this Midoriya where he thinks more than just starts trying to punch the wall harder. Because this is the Midoriya we came to know at the beginning, where he outthinks, he takes his time, he plans a strategy, as opposed to just like all brawn. I like the brain more. It's cool. It's part of his like.
Without
charm.
that, he's just kind of like, I'm just gonna punch him harder.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, you're relying on your quirk too much.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get everyone has their
They've
faults
said that to him. They've told him that, I feel like. Someone said, like, you rely on your quirk too much or something. I don't know.
Probably. So I do like this shift back towards Midoriya, you know, really using his head and not using his brawn anymore. So that was cool. I like that, and I hope we see more, because I think that's a development of a character that should happen, you know? Not that I'm saying that it'll be bad if he goes back to, like, me punch more, like, Hulk smash.
It'd be really interesting.
I love the Hulk, you know? But...
It'd be interesting if they went with... Because I don't think they'll... I mean, every episode, again, starts with, like, I'm the greatest hero. This is my story.
Yeah.
Which is, like, so boring. Like, did not make me want to watch the show. But, like, it'd be really interesting if Deku did push himself throughout him, like, growing up. And, like, so much to where he's, like... Basically, like, even a worse version of All Might. Like, I have one punch a day, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I can only do that once a day. And he, like, forms, like, a team of superheroes. And he's the strategy guy. And he just tells everyone else what to do.
That'd be a waste of All for One, though.
But, like, that's the lesson. That's, like, the twist of, like, he gets All for One. All Might's dead at this point. We'll just say, like, All Might dies. And he has All for One. And he's, like, almost wasted it, basically.
Yeah.
And so, like...
Well, he has wasted it.
Well, like, he
hasn't wasted it all.
He keeps training... He keeps, like, fighting people, and he gets so weak where he can't do anything anymore. And he feels like he's wasted it. That'd be an interesting, like... Now he just, like, can't anymore. And he's, like... I don't know. I don't feel like it'll go that way. But that'd be interesting to see him take on a leader role and just be, like... I think of, like, Robin and, like, Teen Titans. Like, he's the one who doesn't have powers, but he's the leader. Batman, Justice League, same thing.
That's the kind of thing I was going towards. Of, like, Midoriya's... He's just Batman. He doesn't have powers, but he compensates for it by, like, outthinking his opponents, using strategy and effective tactics.
We put Batman and Superman in one character, Deku.
Yeah, apparently. So, yeah, and it's I like that. It's fun to see Midoriya really think, and you know, I wanted to touch on that. We touched on.
It was cool to see this episode.
Yes, it was. The one thing I will say at the beginning of the episode that I enjoyed, small thing, but it was cool. Speaking of Endeavor, when, like, you know, he's like, I'm burning through my power here, and All Might's like, you keeping up? And he's like,
shut up, All Might.
Yeah, he's like, shut up. Of course I'm keeping up. So, I don't know. I like the banter between the first and second heroes of this world. I thought it was cool. It keeps that, well, how would you know, that fun...
Balance?
banter. It keeps
Chemistry?
a lighter tone. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this is really serious situation, but they're more.
It's like always a light tone. Genus dies. Who cares?
Yeah, but it's like this competitive banter that like, hey, they can't keep going. You know what I mean? It's like he's blown through his power, but he can't keep going, and he's gonna be, optimistic, so to speak, because he's competitive. So I thought that was cool, and it was fun banter between those guys.
And now the most important part, we move on to the Oklahoma Smash section where we just talk about how funny it is that he did Oklahoma Smash. And
who did Oklahoma Smash?
All Might, he just like, Oklahoma Smash!
Oh, when he spun everybody?
Yeah. I was just like, oh, okay, so Texas, what is it called? Texas Smash?
Yeah.
I don't even remember now. It's not just Texas is not important specifically. It could be all of the states have their own Smash.
I don't know how it comes up with these names. This is weird.
I mean, I think he's just supposed to be like.
That's just.
I think he's just supposed to be like, I mean, he's not American. I don't think so. But like, I don't know. He feels like he's embodying that American.
Yeah, I don't know where he's American.
I don't know why, but yeah.
And it's not,
I just thought it was funny. It's like, oh, Oklahoma Smash. Interesting. All right.
It's not like California and New York. It's like Oklahoma and Texas. Like, hey, let's get down.
He's a Midwest guy.
This is like straight south, dude.
He's Superman. Clark Kent, Smallville.
From Kansas. Yeah. This is like cornfields, fishing, hunting, like.
I just thought that was so weird and like so random. Like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, it was really funny. The center of America.
What is Hawaii Smash? Speculation.
Dude, it's got like pineapples in it, probably.
He punches the pineapple so hard the little spikes go into the people.
That's just weird. I don't know where you're going with that one.
He punches the pineapple, and the pineapples are spiky. Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about pineapple. Okay, I think we're good for this one. I don't have anything else to say or to predict at this moment. Do you? Do you want to have any closing statements?
This is a good discussion. We didn't really have too much of a plan going into this, so sorry if it was like all over the place.
It was a little all over the place.
It was just like season 3 so far. What do we think? What are our thoughts after watching this episode?
Yeah, and this was...
It's past midnight. It's E3.
Yeah.
Who cares about my...
But I think it was kind of cool. We got to go down some...
I got 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Just 40-minute rant about My Hero Academia.
Basically. We're going to touch on some cool subjects and really talk through it, which I think is fun and really...
We can take this opportunity to say now that, like, we maybe plan... We didn't talk about this beforehand. Do this every week. So after every episode from this point, we will have a discussion.
So
maybe
right before this podcast, I did order...
More organized?
Yes. More organized, more consistent. I did order a new mic for some higher quality audio. So we're going to get that here pretty soon, as quickly as the free shipping comes.
I ordered my YouTube license so we can finally be officially... That's not a real thing.
Oh, I was like, are you serious? That's really cool. Why didn't we do this before?
I was just making a joke. Because now we're real YouTubers.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, look forward to hopefully some higher quality audio coming with the new microphone. A more consistent schedule here that now we're on summer, and my schedule is getting to be a little bit more consistent. I'm not doing school anymore.
After a year-long hiatus, we're finally back.
We're going back, and we'll be doing this as well as some game reviews, and then our continued...
Oh, hopefully,
our rival challenge in our playthrough. To make promises.
Yeah,
This is the hope. This is the hope for people to look
We're doing
Pokemon.
To. That's the one thing we've been consistent.
And this is also I'm like keeping you...
Every other month we battle each other.
Well, every other month we battle each other like 3 times. So
I know, that's just our whatever.
Yes, we haven't been consistent, but this is my like, hey, let's be accountable for this and let's do this. So, look forward to it. We got our rival battle challenge. Hopefully. Yeah, our rival battle challenge, and
trying to say.
I'll say that like 16 more times, but that's what we're gonna go play and do right now, and then hopefully some game reviews and some more talks about anime. So that's the gist.
No, only My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
We're My Hero Academia and a Pokemon channel. That's exclusively. I'm just kidding. It's late. All right.
Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned. We will see you soon. Alrighty. Bye.